This is specifically addressing the what's going on with the Fishers and their second property. Does everybody have a grasp on what is going on with that? Ted, you know what's going on? So there was a 4-inch line that was running down Cape Horn Road, and that has now been, it was upgraded to 8 inches, and then they also took it further to Main
Are
Road
we
here.
on the Fisher one here, or which one are we on?
This is their property, this is Fisher.
Well,
This is the,
They're on the corner.
this is the access issue one with the fence.
yeah, and I don't think that really is,
So they have another
best.
issue too?
well, it
Probably
would be,
confused.
that's page 420, I think, of the engineering report. And there is another picture right above it, which lists, it shows both, it shows all of the property on one page. I don't quite understand this.
What do you not understand? That's the Fisher property right here.
Well,
This is
it's-
the
it's-
easement going
No,
down.
no,
North is straight
No.
up the screen,
we're talking about this property right here.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
This one.
Second one,
Oh, here, we show-
So that was a 4-inch line that had, when the Fishers purchased the property, it was purchased with water availability. It didn't, they have the ER. It wasn't hooked up to a meter, so they were not paying a monthly fee. But
So what do you mean they had an ER then?
they,
There's no such
they
thing.
have an ER.
There's no such thing for a while.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's the confusion.
They were not being
Sewer.
served water.
Yes, they
on
were
that
not
property.
being served water. It was to the property, available, not connected. When they purchased
Yeah,
the
no
property.
meter was installed.
Right. And now, the property has gone from having water available to water not available. Which from my understanding with titles, there's a special name of title. I'm on the spot, so I'm brain. If we don't, I believe we have to hook that connection, at least bring it to the stub out in the box as it was, or we're making the property less. We're determining that their property value will drop by not having service. Even though they're not paying for service, it's there. When they purchased it and the title search was done, that was how it was listed.
Take a search on water,
Available.
and there's been such thing as far as I know. So they had a 4-inch line in the neighborhood.
They had a 4-inch line in the
Okay,
neighborhood.
now the 8-inch line is across the street.
Right. And
Did not hook up.
the
to
stub out is
The
not
stub out is
hooked
not
up.
hooked up to the new service.
So
New main.
Because they didn't have any service.
do we pay to get it hooked up or not? Is it our responsibility or not? That was, I
Well, how the district runs per our resolutions is that if water service is ran to a property, then a meter is installed. And once a meter is installed, within 30 days, you have a bill. And that is your guarantee access to have your service all the time. That's why the district didn't have it documented, that there was even a connection there. Because somewhere down the line, before Bob and I's time, somebody ran service to the property. It wasn't documented, we didn't know about it because there was no meter, and this value to their property was of no value to the district.
Was there even water in that line?
Not in
Yes.
the stub out. That I know of.
when it was hooked to the 4-inch,
Oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah, would have been, that's correct.
Yeah.
Thinking now it's not, but they did, that incorrect.
And was that a piece of property we assumed that some other water system, basically?
No.
Some private water system?
Huh. I'm guessing whenever the system was put in, it must have been a stub output there many years ago. We didn't know about
92,
it.
maybe.
Well, some of those systems were private and then we took them on.
Right, and that's not one of
Well, but at one point, we were up, physically up there at
Yes.
that junction, and I thought that they had connected that and made a loop.
those. Right.
But
No?
it wasn't done, huh? That's what, I thought that's what was talked about.
Yeah, no, it was never handled that way. Ben can chime in too on that as well.
He's gone.
What's going on?
Yeah, it wasn't in any of our plan sets.
And the 4 inches on the south side, closer to their property, the new one is on the other side of the road, which would require, you know,
Yeah.
traffic control, closing off Cape Horn Road, cutting it up, but again, it could reconnect.
Hot tap,
No.
you said about 20,000.
I would get, just knowing what Lakes Highway District's
Yeah.
permit's gonna
Rough
cost, and
estimate.
the traffic control and all that, that's what I just.
And because of the emails that were going back and forth, Colleen was involved in much of that email, so I contacted Colleen, spoke with her. And her, she was very, I don't wanna say forceful, adamant that by not hooking that back up, we're gonna be liable because of title.
Title.
Because of title.
That really makes no sense to me though. You don't have a title to water. You have title to land, and
But-
easements and things like that, but not water.
They don't say what your utilities are. I mean, the value of a property, if you have electricity on the property, is gonna be value.
That wouldn't be title, that would be,
No, in fact,
that'd be a assessed value type thing.
which, and how a closing goes is the title company sends us what's called an assessment request. In that assessment request, we state what we are providing to that property. And because there's no account, we receive no income from it, we would consider that not connected into our system. So there's nothing tied to that property title-wise with the district, because there's no connection request paperwork, there's no funds being exchanged, it's not documented in any of our plan sets.
There's
It
just
was
that
an
part-
undocumented connection, which actually, according to our resolutions, would be
I don't know.
It seems like this one is
Undocumented.
one for, that's why you have attorneys.
Yep.
And ask them, what's your legal opinion on this situation? And go from there.
So do they have a private well? Is that how they currently?
No, this house,
Undeveloped.
right here, the 17156, the property closer to Bob, that one is connected into our system, that is their house, they have a meter, they have a sewer, that house is good to go, regular old connection. This one right here next to them is a shop, just a shop. And it has a meter set, but no actual meter, and there's water line ran to that meter set, and then all we would need to do is connect a water meter into it, and then they would run from
Under
their
the
side
old
to,
arrangement,
yeah, to
yes.
get water to their shop. So currently, the old line was hooked into and it ran to the meter set, but it's undocumented in the
So-
district at this time.
So the risk is that if they have water in the shop now, it's probably served from the house.
Right.
It's a shop, it's not a house.
Which is actually illegal according to our resolutions. It's actually not against, or that's running against our policy also. You cannot provide water to another parcel from an existing parcel. The only time you can ever have your infrastructure provided off your connection if it's on the same parcel.
Can I require combining the parcel?
They would have to combine them.
And it's all a big what if. And that looks pretty much part of the house to me. I mean, as far as the same site, it's all paved around it.
Yeah.
So the chances of selling it off separately is probably minimal.
Mhm.
But obviously is always the potential, which is why, cause if it were to ever be considered as one parcel, then it would, I mean, it's already being served off the other one, so that's a big nightmare if they ever disconnect. Or if they ever do sell that off, which is the whole point of wanting the other separate meter, is to make it self-sufficient, well, it's already connected into the other house. So that would have to,
Is there water at that stub out now?
Not now,
No,
because it's in the main.
because it was hooked up to the 4-inch line that doesn't have water in it anymore.
Mm-hmm. There's water there now.
Still seems like something we run by our attorney and say, this is the situation, make sure they get all the facts so they aren't making in a vacuum.
And what's our responsibility?
And what's our
Yeah.
responsibility?
I think it's important to get it right now because there may be others out there we don't know of. But it's gonna be, what we do now is what we do in the future.
Maybe others.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, okay.
let's see
Cushion
see
that a
what
little bit.
our lawyers have to say. I don't wanna just speak to speak, but in my mind, I could see buying a property and knowing, physically going, looking, knowing that I have water at a certain place, and then it disappearing. I would consider that, you know, robbing me of value of my land. But what is the lawyer, what does our legal
Well,
have to
and the
say?
water's still available. If they asked us to serve that, we'd still serve.
Well,
No, it's not.
It would
it's
just
not-
be more expensive.
Well, we'd have to
Sure.
hook it up.
It's
to
just
the
a matter
main.
of money. It's
Have
not
to hook it up to the new main, yes,
Right,
that's
it's
correct.
just a matter of money.
Yes.
And whose money? Would it be the
Yeah,
district's
exactly.
money, or would it be the owner's money?
Exactly, but the water's still available.
So now, why don't I give the Fishers a moment? Is there anything you wanted to say about this?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
there was already a letter written to the water board's lawyer, and they said it was two separate entities, and that it was up to the water board to decide whether we get water or not. Then we got a phone call saying that they were gonna hook it up. And, I mean, it's been a no, yes, so many times that,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been going on
I don't
over
know
a
if I
year
have
and
to
a
get a
half.
real lawyer or what to get it straightened out, because,
There is
We-
water in the stub out right now.
yeah, there's water there
But there
now.
is no water connection to the shop.
Oh,
There's just a meter sitting there.
that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Is the stub out.
yeah.
All right, well, Lake City Law, see what they have to say.
We already
You
wrote
you
to
already
them,
been there.
We already did that.
and they said it's up to the board.
You
So
have,
here
you,
we're
it's
going
been a year
round
and a
and round
half.
again.
Make a decision already.
Yes, and we also have gone through multiple chairs, multiple people have rotated through the board, and we have emails that are sent to these people, and these people, and these people, and these people. So it is super, super hard to be able to keep stuff on focus, which is a detriment to the community. We understand that, but,
How come we were told yes last?
and that I can answer that. I mean, I went through all past emails that I could find, Fisher, looking up easement, search, we're doing word searches to find emails, and I couldn't find anything other than what I kinda sent to you, which everybody got.
yeah, this
The
kind of
email
went to
chain.
rest, cause at some point, Bob had let us know that there was somehow that this existing line was gonna serve the parcel, which I thought it had solved itself because there was some portion of the line, so now that's not?
Apparently not, there's no water to there right now. If you turn the valve, it doesn't have any water in it, correct?
Yeah, I checked it here, I mean, I had it located because I was putting in a fence, and I
Okay.
didn't even know it was there because it was buried.
Oh,
I found it and I cracked the valve and there was water
it's
there.
under pressure, well, maybe it was not, I wonder if the existing 4-inch line is still in service, or if an option is to.
Investigation needs to be done.
Yeah.
Be talking
The new
apples
water
and
line's only
oranges.
about 20 feet away, where
Right.
they came Cape Horn on the south side,
Right,
and they got close to our property and went across to the north side of Cape Horn.
right,
So it's like 20 feet away. I mean, if that's any help, but it's,
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this drawing doesn't show where the water lines actually are.
I mean, the good
Yeah,
news is
no,
if
no.
they got
Worthless
water
drawing.
pressure there, if you got water pressure there, I thought it was disconnected, but I guess not.
No, it's hooked up.
No.
And the new line and everything's ran?
I,
So if it has water to it,
All we need to do is install it here.
I guess.
basically, yeah, the meter would just need to be
For some
installed.
reason, I thought it was disconnected, but maybe.
that discussion we had up there,
Yeah.
I mean, the operators of the equipment and so forth, that, you mentioned that we included that 4-inch line, we kept it line
It may
going to
be,
that.
and it could be, if Ben was here, because they may say, okay, that gives us more flow, if there's nothing wrong with the
Can we
line.
just go to it and see if there's water to it? If there's
Well,
water
yeah,
to
he
it
said there
with
was,
the
but
meter?
yeah, you investigate.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
water
you
to
can
it.
see water in it.
So if
Then
there's water
why
to it,
are
what's the issue?
we discussing-
We don't,
Guess
We
there
don't
is.
have an
You're
issue,
gonna
we just
abandon.
install a meter.
No, we don't install a meter,
Why?
If there's water
unless
on
the
line.
Fishers request a meter set. To get water service and start
Correct.
paying a month, we're not gonna install a meter, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the board has the ability to treat this connection different than usual connections that
I
we
guess
do, but
I'm
the
confused.
district
Do you want a
policy is
meter?
that if
Do you
infrastructure
want a
is
meter in there?
ran.
No, we just
Well,
want
actually-
water. We just want it put back like it
Because,
was.
I mean, eventually, it's two separate entities, so that shop isn't gonna be there forever, there's gonna be a house there someday, is our master plan.
Well, it has,
How is
it
it-
has
And
to
we'll
be
put a meter
metered.
in then, you
And
know?
if they abandon the 4-inch line,
Yeah, it's the cost of hooking up to the new line later, it's gonna eat us up. I
So
mean, that's something we're
You
gonna
wanna
have
hook
to
up
pay.
to the new line later though, but if,
No, if you abandon this one and we have to hook up later,
Do you
if
have
we
plans
ever
to
build a
abandon?
house,
It's-
it's gonna be our cost.
Because I know that.
Yes, it's gonna be your cost.
I thought it was farther east on Cape Horn, we decided not to, because they're gonna run the two lines concurrent, and maybe Ben decided that here, but he's not on right now.
I mean, if they leave it hooked up, it's just a matter of putting the meter in and going
Yeah.
to the house. Cause there's a sewer, I had them mark it and they marked a blue line and a green line, so I think there's a sewer connection right beside it, I've never seen it. But they marked two different lines,
Bob?
water and sewer.
Right beside it?
tomorrow or as soon as you can, will you investigate and find out if we still have water there?
Yes.
Because otherwise we're just
Talking
waiting.
in a
Is
circle.
Right,
the
right,
meter
yeah,
box
right,
exposed where I
right,
could
right.
see it?
It's kinda half covered up, I can
Jesse?
make it so you can see
Okay,
it.
Will
good, so
you
they get
ask
out there
Lake
tomorrow,
City
maybe.
Law
Yeah,
to
stop and
include
talk
any
to me and I'll
past
show you
emails
because I have
that they may
electric
have
checks there.
concerning this
Usually
issue
it's
with
operated.
this property? How do we
Well, that was from
identify?
back in the sixties or whenever it went in. so
We would have been
it's-
talking to them
it's-
about
that's not something
easements.
new.
I don't even know
no,
how we.
this particular item's been on the agenda numerous times, and I brought Lake City Law's recommendations. I thought that there was some type of new development or discussion happening, which is why,
Anyway,
No, I would have liked to have seen the Lake City Law's emails and I thought I
I brought them all to the board meeting one time, and this is, anyway, okay, yeah, I can send those back out.
this will continue. We'll have more information for you.